Hey everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from downtown Manila, late at night with another Stars on Spotlight guest. And guys, if you want to be on Stars on Spotlight, we're doing 30 interviews this month. I think there's about 9 left. Why don't you reach out? Think about it. It's $30,000 for a TV commercial, and they'll probably go and make a cup of coffee while the ad's on. If you want 10 radio spots, that's going to set you back 5,000, and they may well play them at 2 o'clock in the morning when no one's listening. But with Stars on Spotlight, we'll put you across 14 different social media channels, totally free of charge. The normal ones, Reddit, Snapit, LinkedIn, of course, Facebook, and of course, YouTube, with all your social media links, and make you famous more so than what you already are, make you a star. Just like our next guest, I'm going to introduce her shortly. And she's all the way at the moment. She's in lovely Thailand. I'm jealous. I know where she is. She's a nice part of the world. Her name is Kelly Clark. Kelly's a project director for a company. The company's name is Virtual Edge, and she's in the same business as us. She's doing online marketing, and she's been doing this for a long, long time now. She was 10 years in her previous industry. She's helping B2B service-based companies get clients on LinkedIn. And guys, if you're not on LinkedIn, you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. Right, you should be on LinkedIn and you should be in Facebook groups. That's where the action is. And of course, the new one for 2025 is podcasting. All right, but key achievements or projects, getting her location-based business operating without me while I travel the world and eventually selling it. Not a bad thing to do. Brief description, helping B2B business service companies get clients on LinkedIn. We've covered that. Personal motto, the secret isn't in the list you write. It's who you become while checking it off, isn't it? We've got to be growing all the time, guys. If you're not growing, you're dying. Think about that, right? Well, interesting. Key fact, I can read and speak Thai. That's interesting. That is very interesting. That must give people a bit of a shock sometimes. They can talk about it and you can hear every word, right? And we've got all of her details here. So it's over to you, Kelly. We're going to start the interview with the first question we have here for you is, tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path. How did it all begin?
Absolutely. So I left school. I dropped out of school in grade 9 and
How
I
old were you,
decided,
How old were you?
oh, I was 16.
Very
So I
smart
was
girl.
16 when
Smart
I
girl.
dropped out. I
Very good.
think so. And
Absolutely.
I decided to continue my studies online. So I was able to condense 3 years of studies into one, which I was very happy about. And I subsequently started my first business, which was doing imports of computer networking equipment and supplying it to the South African government. So very location-based business, very time-based business. And it cost a lot of money to run it because the
Absolutely.
minute that you grew, you had to invest all your money back into stock. And I started, well, my husband actually came up to me one day and said he wanted to travel the world. And I had 3 warehouses, 6
Wow.
trailers, 30 staff members, containers arriving on a monthly basis. And honestly, it felt like he was asking me to move to Mars. It was terrifying.
Sure.
So I asked him to give me 2 years, and this happened during COVID. So for those 2 years, I really just built up the team, built up the systems, and got everyone operating without me. And
Lovely.
then we were able to actually go travel, and we were able to do 30 countries over 3 years.
Fantastic. You still got the business or you've given that one up?
So I sold it 18 months ago successfully, which I'm
Lovely.
very happy about. It was an amazing business, but I did realize that I also treated it like a baby and it was no longer serving my bigger goals.
Well,
So
becomes a teenager. It grows up, doesn't it?
it does. And I looked at it, there was no way I could have grown it much more without me being there. There were some restrictions on that. So I decided to rather join my husband's business. We built that up to a place to be able to sell it. And I have now my very big goal, which I'll share a little bit later.
Fair enough. Tell me, what's been the most challenging aspect of your work and how have you overcome that?
I think honestly, running a physical business being overseas was very challenging.
Yeah.
Obviously managing all your staff, and I didn't have higher level managers. So it was all me managing a lot of staff.
Or remote,
So the
remote control,
challenges,
right?
remote control, obviously managing stealing, all of that, especially in a country like South Africa, you've got to be very careful.
Mate, don't bring back my bad memories. I ran mine overseas for 5 years. I know all about it. I went from 24. I knew my numbers. I didn't. The accountant did. I went from 24.8 down to 11%. And
Wow,
it was basically due to theft. And I didn't realize it because I trusted my people implicitly. They'd been to weddings,
100%.
funerals, christenings. They were like family, but
Yes.
sadly they were thieving family.
The minute I left, I think about 1 million rands worth of stock went missing, which is about $50,000. Or
Unbelievable.
yeah, and just gone the minute I left. So
Yeah,
I was like, and
and to
we've been working with these
someone you trusted, right? As well. That's the
completely.
worst of
They've
it.
been in the business for 10 years.
Yeah, sad, sad.
So it is what it is, unfortunately. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and everyone kept telling me it was absolutely impossible to run a location-based business overseas, and I just wanted to prove that I could build systems to manage it all
Likewise.
without me being
Yeah.
there.
The funny thing I did, my warehouse and office was only 10 minutes from my house, which made it too easy to go to work, right? So what I
Mm-hmm.
did, I went and rented a beautiful home overlooking the water
Oh,
about 2 hours from my actual home. So technically, it was hard to go to work. So I had a practice run for 6 months before I ever went overseas. That was my
brilliant.
practice run. I thought if I can be 2 hours away, I can be 24 hours away. So,
Your story and mine is actually pretty similar because I thought I had COVID. So I stayed at home for 2 weeks to
well,
quarantine.
yep,
And that 2 weeks turned into 6 months of not driving to the office. And
yeah.
then after that, we took our first trip overseas. And after 3 months, we decided, okay, no, this is real.
Absolutely, and it is. It's up
Mm.
meant to be. It's up to me. We can all do it, guys. We both of us are proof that it can be done. In your opinion,
Absolutely.
what are the key qualities or skills that have helped contribute to your success?
Um, I would say the number one thing is learn aggressively,
Yeah,
implement quickly,
lovely.
and just be consistent.
Yeah, turn up.
Um, yeah, turn up. When I sold my business and I joined my husband's business, it was a completely different industry. I went from importing to online marketing,
Yes,
and I was terrified. It was completely different to what I'd ever experienced. I'd never even been on camera before. So just don't be scared to learn. Just keep learning, and nothing that you learn is wasted, and it will lead you on to bigger and greater things. So I
absolutely.
would
Be learning
say,
every day.
yeah, and what I've really enjoyed is actually choosing one problem that I'm struggling with at a time and just
Yep,
solving that one problem.
that's
Like you
right.
said, not going through a million courses from, 0 to 100%, but just picking out the things that you really need assistance with at that time.
Yeah, and be learning all the time.
Mm,
Especially with AI now. AI has changed the game, guys. It's really, I'm amazed what
amazing.
AI can do every day. It still amazes me. Right? But I try not to go down the rabbit hole too much. Right?
Well, listen, you still need your human touch. So absolutely, I
Absolutely.
think it's there to hold our hand, but
Yep.
it
Correct.
shouldn't be taking over everything.
That's right. And remember, it's only as good as us. We're the people that put the input into it.
Absolutely.
It doesn't work by itself. Um, Tell us a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of.
I would say my number one thing is automating my entire business and being able to sell it. That was my greatest life achievement up until now.
Yeah, awesome.
But second to that was actually helping my husband in his business and automating his systems and processes and in order for us to be able to sell it in 3 years' time and get him out of the business. I've
Mhm.
helped a lot with his automations and processes. So we've also
Lovely.
brought our team from 10 people down to 4 people, and we're
Great.
doing 50% more capacity. So we
Lovely.
are really now on a scalable model, which has been amazing to be part of.
If you do sell, what are you going to do in 3 years' time? If you sell out, what will you do then?
Firstly, I want to be a mom.
Lovely. Yeah.
Secondly, I want to buy a farm and I want to be 100% self-sustainable.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Where will you buy your farm, do you think? Any ideas?
Thailand, Thailand.
Thailand, yeah, Thailand's so
Mm,
bloody awesome.
I
People
love it.
they say amazing Thailand, and I can tell you, folks, it's amazing,
It's
right?
incredible.
I
It's
miss Thailand a
absolutely.
lot, and I went.
You must come visit.
Yeah, well, only reason I didn't go down there was off the beaten track. I lived in Pattaya. I lived in Hua Hin for a year and a half. Lived in
Okay.
Bangkok for 2 years. So I love city life. I love Bangkok. People tell me,
Okay.
"What do you like about Bangkok?" And I just tell them, "It's got, you know this. It's got soul. You
It
walk
does.
outside your door. There's music. There's
Oh,
food. There's bars. There's everything you could ever want, right?
it's true.
And 24/7. You walk out, you
Yep.
think, oh, it's 2 in the morning. You go out, you think it must be midday.
It's so true. It never sleeps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an incredible place. Um, I just saw a documentary only this week on MBK. Oh, gee, I missed
Mm.
MBK. I'm a shopaholic.
I
And
don't even know MBK.
MBK is next to the National Stadium. Next time you go to Bangkok, it's a six-story shopping centre with everything from real to fake. And on the sixth floor, they got this amazing food court with every cuisine you could possibly think of. And what happens? They give you, I think, can't remember whether you pay or not. I think maybe you don't pay. They give you a
Mm.
card on the way in, and you can use that card at every place. You buy the drink here, you buy your entree here, your main course here, your dessert over there, and you pay on the way
Fabulous.
out.
Fabulous.
Bloody awesome concept. Anyway,
Fantastic.
what advice would you give someone who wants to aspire to leave school early and follow in
Mm.
your footsteps? What would your advice to them be?
I think I'll actually give you the same advice that my mom gave me. And this was when I was about 10, and it's always stuck in my brain. I've actually written a chapter in a book about this. And the main thing is most humans don't know what they want.
Correct.
They they don't, yeah, what they want. So they are very aware of what they don't want, but they are very unaware of what they do want.
Yep.
So how my mom explained it to me, and she said it's the most amazing story that stuck with me. She said, if you walk into McDonald's, not that we eat McDonald's, but
Uh,
just saying, we walk into McDonald's and you say to the teller, I don't want chicken nuggets, and I don't want a milkshake, and I don't want chips. She's going to look at you like you're crazy.
mm,
But the minute you say, you know what, I want a fish burger, or whatever they call it,
yep.
fish burger, you're going to get your fish burger.
Yes.
So be specific about what you want.
Mm,
I have written 3 major lists in my life, one for my husband, one for my overall life, and one for my work.
lovely.
And the more specific you get, you'll be surprised at just how you reach those goals. And through writing down exactly what it is that you want, you start transforming yourself into who you need to become to get the things that you've written down on your list.
Yeah, I got lucky. I had a goal 13 years ago. I told my 40 fair weather friends I'm leaving Australia and I won't be back while I got a hole in my bum. And I just said to myself, I want to be happy. And the moment I got over
Amazing.
to Asia with the freedom and no one to tell me what to do, no looking over my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
I was happy. And it went once you like you now, you don't have a job, you got a passion. And we're lucky. We've got a passion, not a job.
Absolutely.
And once you're happy, it all falls into line.
100%. And it helps that the weather is amazing all the time.
Yeah, and you get to enjoy what you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it. It's about the three F's, guys, not those three. It's about family, friends, and more importantly, freedom. There they are, guys. The
I
three F's.
can add one more onto that. Fitness.
Fantastic. Yeah, not bad. That's a good one. Funny enough, I'm getting into that now. I'm 77, starting to get a few aches and pains. So now I'm starting to think, hey, Jeff, you better look after yourself or else.
It's important. It's
Absolutely.
important.
Very. And I've just come
Fit
to,
and strong for life.
yeah, I've just come to realize that more. I've got to put
Mm.
more effort in. Interesting story for me. I use AI. I went and had a blood test. I have them every year. And the doctor said, oh, yeah, you're okay. This range is not bad. Your cholesterol's not bad. Your liver's good, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm going to come away from now. I thought, okay. So I went on to ChatGPT and put my blood test in and said, break that down for me. And interesting, it said like X times Y plus 74 equals your cholesterol. You should be 90, you're 87, so you're very good, blah, blah, blah. It got down to number 9, and whatever it was, you should be 100, you are 900. I went, whoa, what's this one? And what it was, because I'm indoors all 16 hours a day on the computer, it was vitamin D. Two things
Oh,
Interesting. Two things about vitamin D I did not know, I now know, and they are this. Vitamin D, lack of, makes you very tired. And I was starting to get tired, thinking, why the hell am I getting so tired? You know,
Mm,
I thought I put it down to old age, but that wasn't the case. And
mm,
also, it makes your bones and calcium brittle. Hence,
absolutely.
you fall over and you break your hip when you're an older person, rah, rah, rah. So I thought,
Hmm.
shit, that's a wake-up call. So now I've
Absolutely.
started on the vitamin D tablets, and I've got my phone set twice a day, and I go for 25-minute walks out in the sunshine. So is
And you know, the best way to get vitamin D is before 10 a.m.
that right?
10 minutes before 10 a.m., you'll get all the vitamin D you need.
Yeah, it sounds good to me because it's a bit hot otherwise, but pretty bloody hot at midday, isn't it?
Oh no, it's ridiculous. You'll die of heat exhaustion.
Yeah, correct. Looking
Yeah.
ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? The farm, and what else are you going to be doing?
So really just to build my husband's business up to a point that we can sell it,
Yep,
build the farm, and I would love to do retreats and
that'd be
really
nice.
just sustainable living and teaching people how to sustainably live,
Yeah, yeah,
but
because
still have money. I don't want to be
of
just on a
course.
farm. I want to be
Yeah, sure.
stylishly on a farm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
Mm,
I think with your goals and aspirations, I'm sure you'll get there. Tell me,
thank
how can
you.
our people watching this and our listeners who on podcasts find out more about what you do? What's the best way?
I think the best way will be to connect with me on Instagram. It's Kelly
Mhm.
Clark 94. I'm sure you'll drop the
Yep,
link
I
in the
will. Yep,
podcast.
lovely. Before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
That I can speak and read Thai.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was pretty impressed with that because
So,
that's a major asset. That's a major asset because you can hear him say things like, "Oh, tell her it's only $8. Tell her it's $12," and you can go, then
exactly.
you can come back and say, "How about 7?"
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I'll leave you with this. Shokti Ti Dai Jakun, which means it is so very lucky to meet you.
lovely. Likewise. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up now. So if you want to come on Stars on Spotlight, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. We've done hundreds of these. We've done Stars on Spotlight. We've also done 15 Minutes of Fame. So if you want to have a look at some of these, there's some bloody interesting people just like Kelly, and they've all got a story to tell. So why don't you come on the show and tell your story? Thanks very much for being on the show, Kelly. Been a pleasure.
Thank you.